Yo, it's your boy Tamara, aka K Man.
It's your boy Latara, aka DJ.
And we here to talk about how Pahokee is, we talk about Muck Boy, we talk about the education that we got down there, signing day that we had, the different type of experiences that Pahokee had at Belle Glade. First and foremost, we want to talk about what Pahokee is like, what Belle Glade is like. So if you want to start, you can go ahead.
Man, I feel like Pahokee is a unique place because I feel like if you can survive in Pahokee, you can survive anywhere. Like, it's hard down there. Like, it's not a lot of opportunities. It's not a lot of grocery stores. It's not no Walmart. Like, it's hard down there. So if you can survive in Pahokee, you can go anywhere and survive. So that's a positive that I look at growing up in Pahokee. And like education-wise, I feel like Pahokee, like, we getting better and better each year education-wise. I think our school is like a B- school or an A- school, something like that now. So that's a salute to Pahokee also, that we getting on track with our education also.
Yeah, so to fall back on what he was saying, what DJ was just saying, I feel like Pahokee is a vibe to me, or whatever, despite all the stuff that go on down there, due to the violence or whatever. Pahokee is not a bad place to live at. If you ask me, Pahokee is just like any other city out there, Miami or Orlando, Palm Beach, Tampa. It's the same thing. Like, you go anywhere, it's the same thing. Every city got their rough neighborhoods or whatever. We don't have any job opportunities like that. We have more churches than anything. We have, you go on every block, it's a church everywhere. I ain't saying nothing wrong with that, but 13 churches in Pahokee, that's crazy. I feel like some of them churches could be like a restaurant or a shoe store or something. God forgive me if I'm wrong, but hey, I feel like that's the thing. We don't have anything down there. Our education is not all that great or whatever. Well, when we was in high school, it wasn't all that great, but it's getting better. It's progressing day by day as time go on. As far as Pahokee High School and Glade Central, I feel like Glade Central had a better education program than we did, only because they had criminal justice over there. They had strict teachers. They had all that. We had some strict teachers or whatever, but our education level wasn't really up there how Glade Central thing was. If I had an opportunity to go to Glade Central, I would have went up for school only. School only. Look, don't look at me like that. Don't look at me like that.
Don't even want no Glade.
No, look, because when I was in high school, I wanted to do criminal justice before I got to college. And that was the only school that I knew that was close to me that would have, accepted me for that. You ain't got to, do this and do that, all that other type of junk. I feel like with that, I would have went to the school only, and that's it. Now football, I was not gonna play with Glade Central because no, who was gonna do that? And talking about football, it's a lot, right? We were talking about Muck Bowl, our experience from being moved up from JV, all that.
Football in Pahokee is different. It's tough, it's hard. Because you're going to get coached harder than you ever got coached before. In Pahokee, you're going to get coached harder than you get coached in college. Because everybody know everybody. They know your mom, they know your dad, granddad, grandma. So they don't care to coach you hard, they don't care to cuss you out. Granddad and grandma don't give permission to cuss you out. So, man, playing football in the mud is hard.
Oh yeah, for sure. And to fall back on what he was saying I feel like playing football over there is a bonus, bro. Cause like I said, you don't have much to do. Our education ain't really all that good, but you gonna get one. Them teachers gonna make sure you get an education. Our principal was great. Our principal was so great. He wanted that. He didn't even want us to come to school with jeans that had the rip in it. How everybody wear these jeans nowadays, the denim jeans or whatever. We couldn't have them ripping on, none of that. We had to wear a collar shirt, but us as a senior, bro, we didn't really care about that. We came to school how we wanted to come in his arms, we had that's how we is over there though. Like we sometimes we ain't care about like showing up to school with our basketball shorts or a nice little T-shirt or like some slides or Crocs or whatever it is. You know, we ain't care about that. I feel like when it come down to the football though, like bro, being on JV, getting moved up to varsity, my ninth grade year was everything, yo. Cause like we had an undefeated season, we won Muck Bowl, we won the state championship. But then after all that had happened, man, it's like everything went downhill because they took our state championship away from us. They took almost really our whole season from us because they said we had an ineligible player. You don't speak too much about that, but I feel like that was devastating to me because to have a state ring as a freshman, to have a state jacket, have a medal across you or whatever, taking pictures. You're a freshman, man. You got your mama in the stands. You got your whole family in the stands, really. And then you got everybody from Belle Glade, everybody from Palm Beach, you got everybody from Pahokee, everybody at this game. Like, it's so deep. To see a crowd like that, especially at Muck Bowl, like we had like almost 30,000 people or whatever, like it's wild, bro. I ain't never see that type of crowd like in my life, in my entire life. Like I'm 22 years old, I've never seen a football crowd like that in person. He probably have because he done went to New York and this and that, you know. He played in the Muck Bowl before I did. He got more experiences than I did with, you know, the college crowds or whatever. The most I probably done ever seen in college was probably like 4,000, 5,000. That's the most I probably ever seen, man. So it's like coming like being in high school where you have more friends than you do when you go to college. It's crazy. But hey, man, that's just the way it is over there, man. Like people come from everywhere to see this game. Like Muck Bowl is almost the best game that Pahokee Belle Glade could ever probably made up. Like you playing for bragging rights, you playing for the Muck Bowl trophy, and that trophy stayed up. The best thing about it, that trophy stayed up for a whole year. That's like they can't come down and take it from you. They can't do none of that until the next Muck Bowl come on. And your name go down as they put your name, like they put the Pahokee or Belle Glade. They show the scores of everything every year that, you know, Muck Bowl done been made or whatever. So,
like Tamara was saying, man, Muck Bowl, that's a big rivalry game. Like I'd say that's the biggest rivalry in the state of Florida, like high school wise. So to win that game, that means a lot. Like you have the bragging rights for the year. Like Tamara said, the trophy stays in the front office in Pahokee at the high school, so you can just walk in and look at the trophy anytime. And like just to win the Muck Bowl, man, that means a lot, man, because it was one point where Pahokee couldn't even win the Muck Bowl. So for us to be winning Muck Bowls back to back, that means a lot. And I know that made the community proud and made everybody proud.
And on top of that, not to mention, well, I'm gonna mention it anyway, but we just recently blew Glade Central out 2 years in a row, man. 2 years in a row. Last year and the year before that. The year before that, we blew them out 28-0. Last year, it was 41 to what? It was 46 to what? 17? I'm gonna pull up the score so y'all know what the score really was. I don't want to be lying to y'all. But Pahokee beat the brakes off of Glade Central. I want them to do Glade Central how Glade Central did us back in 2011, 2012, when they blew us out 2 back-to-back years. But I feel like everybody from the Muck is a family until that week of the football season. Like, I'm cool with so many people from Glade Central or whatever. Like, I'm cool with people from over there. But when that week comes, we are not talking. We don't say a word to these people, especially the Muck Bowl banquet. Like the Muck Bowl banquet alone, we have to sit there next to each other. Like say on Pahokee, this Glade Central, It Glade Center, Pahokee. It's around the whole table. You got Pahokee, Glade Center, Pahokee, Glade Center, and then you got the cheerleaders. So you got a cheerleader from Pahokee, a cheerleader from Belle Glade, literally sitting at that same table. They try to, crack jokes. They try to do this and that. But at some point in time, you just get aggravated, bro. You really want to go home. Like, I don't want to be next to these boys the night before I have to play them, because then, like, they talking junk now. we gonna go out there and show them, like, all right, y'all talking junk, we gonna show y'all what we gonna do. We're gonna do this and we're gonna do that. Yeah.
Yeah, like Tamara was saying, like, the banquet, like, that's like when both teams get together and, like, they have a dinner the night before the Muck Bowl. So I think I went to the banquet.
One time. This man went to the Muck Bowl banquet one time. I could count. I think that was our freshman year or sophomore year. One of this man never showed up to a Muck Bowl banquet ever again. It got to the point where the coaches had told this man, if he don't come to the Muck Bowl banquet, he gonna be suspended for a half. They know they weren't gonna do that. But that's one thing about folks, because they gonna joke around with you, but they do know how to be serious with you. Like, I remember one time, somebody did something stupid in the locker room, and our Coach Waltz, he told us don't even put on our shoulder pads or nothing, like, just go straight outside. So we know when this man about to run us, because he'll either have on that purple warm-up thing with the cleats and the hat, or he'll have on, what else he'll have on? He'll have on a suit or that sort of junk.
He'll have on his shades too.
So
he's smelling good too. Hey, cologne down. Tomorrow smelling good.
Yeah, Coach Waltz played, but that man made us run 110 hundreds because somebody messed up in the locker room. Like, that's just the locker room. So just imagine if we got in trouble in school. Like, the discipline over there, I feel like it's good. Anybody that come to Pahokee, I don't think they could ever tell you that they had a bad experience over there. I did at one point in time, but it went away. But, like, to play football down there, bro, it's lit, bro. Like, because it's a small city. Two small cities playing against each other. Two small cities playing against these big schools in Palm Beach, Miami. Half of the time, my bad, they used to go out of state and even play out of state sometimes or whatever. Like, we made a name for ourselves back then, but now we just, adding on to what we already made the name of, like Pahokee or Belle Glade. Some people consider Clutchton as the Muck or whatever, but, I look at it as if you got a sugar cane field, hey, all right, cool. We used to play them, and then they started running from us or whatever, because we beat Clutchton, like, I never lost to Clutchton, never. Even when it came out to JV, like, I never lost to Clutchton. Then we get to high school, we played them a couple times, and last year we were supposed to play them, but from my understanding, they were trying to cancel that game just to play this game, but they already had lost their whole season. So I'm like, man, play the kid, man. Sure. It's the Sugar Bowl, bro. Like, people want to see that. I'm guarantee you, Cliff's gonna bring their crowd, Pahokee gonna bring their crowd. Let them two cities battle out, man. Let's get it. But then you got Muck Bowl. Like I said, we blew them out. I was actually at that game, and yeah, man. How you feel about that state title that got taken away from us? How you feel about Coach Dean, the rest of them coaches, like, that coached us up to learn how to play on the college level, and what led you to come to FIU?
I'm still the state champ in my eyes. That's how I feel about the state championship, even though it got taken from us. But I still feel like I'm a state champ. I mean, nobody saw the work that we put in. They ain't see the work that we put in. They ain't see the sweat, the tears, all that we went through. So in my eyes, I'm still the state champ. That was like one of my best years of high school. So I always remember that. And about the coaches, Coach Dean, Coach Waltz, Coach Bolden, man, everybody who coached me, man, I got nothing but respect for them guys, man. y'all taught me like Coach Stick, man. Coach Stick used to be on me every day, man. Hey, Coach Stick used to be on me every day in practice, man. So yo, man, I got nothing but respect for y'all guys for pushing me, man. And then what led me to come into FIU, I wanted to be closer to home, and I wanted to have a better opportunity, like to play the position that I wanted to play and not be at a whole nother position. Because when I was at my other school, I was at a position that I didn't want to play, and now that I'm on my FIU, I'm at a position that I'm more comfortable at and that I could just naturally play and be free at and not do all that thinking. So I feel like this was a better opportunity for me. And to come be with my man Cade, man. So shit, I told him before anybody that I was coming to FIU. I think I told him in like October, November, before I even hit the transfer. But I told him like, yo man, I'm coming to FIU.
Yeah. So to fall back on what he was saying, and then I'm gonna get into what I, feel about everything. He did text me, man, cause I have my own business named Muck Edits. Y'all go follow me on Instagram as Muck Edits. Y'all can follow me on Instagram. My main Instagram at Tamaric56. You can follow his at _LKJR1. That's gonna be in the intro though, so y'all could go see that right through that. But I feel like, bro, this man hit me up. He was like, get my highlights ready or whatever. I'm finna hit the portal. So I'm like, all right, cool. But he didn't tell me right then that what he was going at. Like, I low-key had to wait to see what he was gonna do, because he was trying to say that he was gonna weigh out his options or whatever, like between FAU, Miami, and FIU, because he wanted to be in Florida. So I'm like, all right, cool. He told me what FAU and this and that, and then FIU, like I guess they gave him the right words or whatever, and it's real close to home. His family could come up here, this and that. So for him to ask me to get his highlights right, especially, all right, cool, that's cool, bro, because like his audience, my audience, we combine that together, that it's huge. Now we on the YouTube together, man. Like I told this man 1,000 times, let's get on YouTube. There's an opportunity out there. There's money to be made out there, type junk. But that's getting out the topic. How I feel about losing that state championship or whatever. Like he said, I'm still a state championship. I still got my mother in the room right now. Like I still got my mother in the room. Like you can't take that away from me. But it would feel nice to have a state ring right here. It would be nice to have a state jacket that say Pahokee on the back, 2020 on the side. It would be nice, right? Like seriously.
2016.
Oh yeah.
2016.
Yeah.
That was 2016.
But honestly, coaches. I want to give a special shout out to Coach Ross, Coach Stick, JB. Who else? Coach Dean, Coach Payne, all y'all, like everybody. Dean especially, cause like Dean, he more of a mentor to me than what he was a coach. I feel like when it came down to Dean, he taught me everything about life. Well, like life outside of football. He like, "Hey, make sure you go out there and do this. Like, make sure don't get in college and start messing up or whatever. Like, all that girlfriend this, girlfriend that, like them problems or whatever, that gonna lead you out of like, they're gonna make you lose focus and stuff. But like, focus on you, and then love will come later or whatever. Like, he was telling me that in high school type junk. So, like I said, Dean was more of a mentor than a coach to me. He was a coach as well, cause he helped out of everybody that already taught me. He helped, gain that confidence in me and say, hey, Kate, I got this. Like, go out there and do what you got to do so you can get a scholarship, so you can feed your family, so you can do this and that. Like, I even told him, Dean, hey, man, when you come to the game, we're going to come up with a celebration. Like, hey, it's been funny, dog. But we're going to come up with a celebration. I used to, every time I get a check, I used to, yeah. So, And he'll be the first one I run up to. We'll jump, bump each other, this and that. And I'm like, man, all right, man, this man done got me out of my comfort zone, so it's over with. Now, we got to a point where it's like everything that I do, I don't give him all the praise for it or whatever, but then got to have a big part in that. Coach Walks got to have a big part in that. I learned discipline with Coach Walks. Coach Shep, the same way. Shep is almost the same as Coach Walks. Like him, Coach Payne, and shout out to JB too. JB, it was for him. JB tried me one day in practice. He know about this. He know what I'm going at. So one day in practice, we were just chilling or whatever. I'm tired because, everything going on. He had me playing red dog defense. I was helping out the offense. So I'm begging coach. I'm like, man, let me go get some water type jump. It was like, nah, we gonna see how you play when you tired or whatever. And as soon as he said that, JB holler off in the back, talking about some man, instead of that pressure, he don't want to get hit by that running back, Take this to your cousin, right? His cousin had just transferred from Olympia and Orlando. So it was two linemen in front of me. They had to double team me into the linebackers. I hate to talk about it, but if y'all know Dubin from Pahokee, when he got hit by Jadavian Clowney, that's how I hit him. But he ain't had the ball though. Like as soon as he reached out and had the ball to get the ball, I'm like, I'm finna hit the quarterback or I'm finna hit him. See, our starting quarterback was already hurt, and I know if I would have hit the quarterback, it was gonna hurt him. So I like, man, forget it. As soon as he did like that, all you see is helmet going straight through his chest. And I didn't know I hit him until I got up and everybody started walking over, like running over to me and this and that. You hear my dog, KJ Carey, he in the back saying, welcome to Pahokee, like this and that. Like, ever since that day, he didn't see that boy come to practice no more. So I shout out to you, JB. Shout out to everybody type John. So, but, everybody should know why I chose FIU. My mom, me personally, when it came out to my recruiting process in high school, it wasn't the greatest. Everything was like a little rocky or whatever. That wasn't the case for him because, like you said, he had 30 offers or whatever, 30 plus. Me, I had 2 offers coming out of high school, and I really don't count one because the coach never hit me back up. FIU always stayed in touch. He always made my family feel like family. They always made, sure they check up on me before every game. They'll send letters through the mail stating that, hey, dominate this team, dominate that team, like beat this team. Good luck on that game. Like even Muck Bowl, like I said, Muck Bowl is like one of the biggest games you could ever play in the Muck, other than the state championship. So to get a letter in the mail saying dominate Glade Century, that feel good, bro. Cause like, alright, this team really care about me, bro. Like, I'm finna sign to them. We gonna keep it pushing. I go on an official visit with my mom back in 2019 in December, and right on the spot, I committed. So it was like, man. Let's get it, man. I'm finna sign and all. Like, I signed that dotted line the same day he did. Like, we signed on the 19th. And what's really good about that date right there, my sister had her twins. My other sister graduated from college, and I signed to college. So it was like a triple bonus for my mom. Like, that was overwhelming for her because it was like all 3 of her children did something. Like they accomplished something all in the same day, between that morning, the afternoon, and that night. Like everything happened that day. So I look back at that day and it be like that keep me going because it's like, man, like I got somebody to go for now. Like I gotta feed my family. Even if football don't work out for me, man. Even if it don't, I always got stuff to fall back on, like this YouTube stuff, like all sorts of income with my editing business, I'm finna get into photography. I'm already in photography, but I'm finna take that more serious. Everything. So y'all can go catch me on that. I'm gonna put the link in the description. All that. Basically, man, this is our first video. We're gonna drop it tomorrow. I gotta edit this video. We gotta do all that, and we gonna keep it moving. We out.